What's up, YouTube? Yeah, so I did something. I went on Suno, which is an AI platform where you can create a song. You put in a prompt and it creates a song for you. And I created a song called Taxing Everything. I text everything, taxing everything. So before we get into it, we're gonna play a little bit of the song and then we're gonna jump into Notebook LM and see what the analysis from Notebook LM is. I'm using AI to critique AI on something that affects all of us. Here's the song.
They tax you when you're born, tax you when you drive. They tax you when you love, barely keeping us alive. They tax you for the cigarettes, tax you for the booze. Ain't nothing left but crumbs in these worn out shoes. Oh, they're taxing the taxes, taxing the air I breathe, taxing every dollar.
Okay, I think you get the idea. And now we're gonna jump into Notebook LM and see what the analysis is on the AI song about taxes with AI reviewing it. Oh boy, you're gonna have fun with this one.
Okay, folks, ready for a deep dive into something that's usually, well, let's face it, a bit boring.
Yeah.
Taxes.
Right.
But don't worry, we're not going to pull out the calculators or anything like that.
No tech scripts here.
Now, we are going to be looking at this sort of really fun lens today, and that is a song called I Taxed Everything.
Oh, yeah, I love this one.
It's on YouTube by the creator Vic Marvey. Have you heard this one?
I have. Yeah, it's catchy. It's funny.
It is so catchy.
Very clever.
I love how the AI says, "Yeah, I've heard it. It's catchy. It's funny." You're not subscribed to my YouTube channel. I don't know you. I've never heard of you, never seen you. You never posted a comment or nothing, and you say you've heard it. It's catchy. It's funny.
It gets stuck in your head, and this is a great way to think about taxes.
Yeah.
So the song basically starts out with this idea that taxes are everywhere.
Right.
Like from the moment you're born.
It's kind of overwhelming when you think about it that way.
It really is. I mean, sipping coffee.
Just breathing the air.
Yeah. And then there's even this line about taxing the taxes.
Yeah.
Which like blew my mind a little bit.
Right.
I was like, is that even possible?
It is. It's more common than you think.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
Okay, good. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
But first I wanted to go back to the beginning of the song where it says, barely keeping us alive.
Oh, yeah.
Now that's a little bit dramatic, don't you think?
Well, maybe a little bit, but it does make you think like, what are our taxes actually doing for us?
Yeah, like where's all that money going?
Right. Like, are we getting our money's worth?
Exactly. And the song doesn't really spell that out for us. So
Well, it's not an economics lection, right?
that's true. That's true.
But it does tap into like a common sentiment, right?
Yeah.
This feeling that we're giving up a big chunk of our income.
And we don't always see where it's going.
Right, exactly. Like, what are we getting in return?
So can you shed some light on that for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So that line, barely keeping us alive, actually relates to a concept called the social contract.
Okay, the social contract.
Had you heard of this?
I feel like I've heard that term thrown around.
Yeah, it's basically this idea that
This is what I love about Notebook LM. You learn so much by simply putting in a prompt and then getting all this feedback from it, like social contract. We're learning about it now. If you didn't know about it already, I assume you did.
as citizens agree to pay taxes
Okay.
in exchange for the government providing us with essential services and infrastructure.
Okay, so it's like a give and take kind of thing.
Exactly, a two-way street.
Okay.
So, think about it. Roads, schools, hospitals, police, fire departments.
Okay, yeah.
All of that is funded by taxes.
So those are things that we might not have if we didn't have taxes.
Exactly right. They're like the backbone of a functioning society.
Gotcha. So it's not just money disappearing into some void.
Right, exactly. It's an investment in our collective well-being.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously that makes sense. But then the song goes on to say, taxing my paycheck, taxing my dreams.
Oh, yeah.
And that kind of hits a little closer to home, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, how do taxes actually affect like our personal goals, like,
Right.
what we're trying to achieve in life?
Well, yeah, I mean, income tax especially plays a huge role in that,
Yeah.
it dictates how much money we actually keep from our earnings,
Okay. Yeah.
how much we can save, and ultimately how we can invest in our future.
Yep.
So, like, imagine trying to start a business
Okay.
or buy a house. Taxes are a major factor in those decisions.
Right. Yeah. You have to factor that into all those big life decisions.
Absolutely. It's part of the equation.
Yeah. And I think sometimes we forget about that until tax season rolls around.
Oh, yeah. Then it hits you.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, right. Taxes.
Exactly.
So, okay. So it's not just income tax, though, right? Because the song mentions this thing called taxing the taxes.
Yeah.
Which just sounds bizarre. Like,
Right.
can you break that down for us?
Yeah. So that line is actually a clever way of referring to compound taxes.
Okay. Compound taxes.
Yeah.
What is that?
So basically, it's where taxes are like layered on top of each other.
Okay.
So, for example, imagine buying a cup of coffee.
Okay.
The price you pay already includes corporate taxes that the coffee shop had to pay.
I never thought that.
And then on top of that, you pay sales tax.
Wow.
So it's like a tax on tax.
So it's a sneaky little tax ninja.
Exactly. It can be tricky to spot.
No wonder the song says Uncle Sam's gone berserk.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a catchy way of putting it.
it is, but I do think it brings up this point that, like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of different opinions about taxes.
Oh, absolutely.
Like-
Strong opinions on both sides.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those topics that people get really fired up about,
Yeah.
you know?
So, what are some of those different perspectives?
Well, some people believe that taxes are too high,
Okay.
that they hinder economic growth and individual freedom.
Okay. So that's one side.
Right.
What's the other side?
Others see taxes as crucial. Oh, wait, someone wants to join. Hey, go for it.
Hey there, I would just like to ask, is there a way to mitigate this tax on tax thing that's going on? Is there a way for people to advocate for themselves to not to pay taxes after the company is already being charged taxes, and then you have to buy a product and you pay taxes?
That's a really insightful question, and it gets to the heart of a lot of frustration.
Yeah, that layered tax thing is definitely a point of contention for a lot of people.
So there isn't really a way to completely avoid those compound taxes,
Right. Like it's built into the system at multiple levels.
but there are ways that we as citizens can advocate for a more transparent and potentially less burdensome system.
Okay. Like how?
Well, one way is to get involved in political discussions and support policies that promote tax reform.
So, like contacting your representatives and stuff like that.
Exactly. And also supporting organizations that work to simplify the tax code.
Okay. So it's about engaging in the process, not just throwing your hands up.
Precisely. The song also touches on different perspectives on taxes in general.
Oh, yeah. The song mentions that some people see taxes as too high.
Right. So joining those discussions is also a good way to make your voice heard on how taxes work.
And understanding the different viewpoints.
Yeah, because it's a complex issue with lots of different opinions and ideas.
Okay. That makes sense.
Now, we were about to get into some of the more creative parts of the song.
Right. Where it starts taxing the rain and sunshine.
Oh, yeah.
And it starts talking about taxing rain, sunshine, even animals.
It gets a little wild.
It does.
But it's all in good fun.
It is. It is. And I like that it
Yeah.
makes us
I feel pretty honored that they said the song gets really creative. Well, I created it. You're welcome.
think like, is there anything that isn't taxable?
Right. It's nothing sacred.
Like, what are the limits?
Well, I think that's part of the point the song's trying to make. It's
Okay.
using hyperbole
Okay.
to drive home the point that taxes can feel incredibly far-reaching.
Yeah.
Like,
They're everywhere.
even things that seem outside of human control are somehow touched by taxation,
Yeah.
and that can definitely.
All right, so that's where I'll leave it. Yeah, s- I'm happy to share this full discussion with anybody who's interested in it. It's totally interesting. And I'll also post the video of the taxing the taxes, the song I made, well, AI made with my prompt in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Just having fun with AI on AI. Have a good one.